It's been almost 2 years since I quit teaching. Hi guys, so today's video is a requested video. I was sent a request on Instagram to do a video about, basically just what do you do when you're going through that really confusing time in your life when you know you want to quit teaching but you're really unsure about your skills and about your talents. And so I'm going to go ahead and try to pack as much information as I can in this video. I actually have notes. I got my phone up here because I have two phones, and I'm going to try. I'm going to really try to stay short and precise and concise and brief. But I think this is a very, very powerful topic because I definitely would have not known how to walk away from my job if I wouldn't have been able to identify first my transferable skills. Second, if I wouldn't have had a hobby that I absolutely loved that was able to turn into a business, like my earrings. They're so cute. I'll link them below in the description box. I wouldn't have been able to quit. I mean, and let me say, it really depends on your situation, how you approach quitting teaching. Because in my case, I obviously had support. I had a support system. I had someone in my life who was not going to let me go without eating. You know what I'm saying? I have someone in my life where I knew I was going to have a roof over my head. I had, you know, the support of my parents, and, walking away was scary for me personally as a woman because I'm someone who always has to make her own money, no matter what. I don't care if I am a stay-at-home wife or if I were to become a mother one day, or if I choose not to have children. I'm someone that always has to make money. I just need to feel like I am on this earth for another reason besides, being someone's wife or just being, a caretaker or just being, what people want me to be. I have personal interests and I have talents. And I believe that everyone has talents and skills and resources or an educational background that can be used to make money and to create businesses for yourself. So for me, I come from a family of academia. All of my immediate family, everyone in my family has a degree, I think, except for like one person in my immediate family. So I never really thought about entrepreneurship as a journey for myself. I always really thought the traditional way was the way to go, and for some it will be. Some of us went into careers for the love of it. Teaching is one of the most rewarding jobs in the world, and it is one of the most important jobs in the world, along with our police officers, along with our doctors and people who save lives and really give their all. Teachers really are that bridge that everybody has to cross, and we are the support system, and we teach and we love and we go above and beyond our jobs, and we work hours and a lot of times we're mistreated, and a lot of times a lot of us haven't been treated like professionals. A lot of times we've been working for incompetent leaders, especially administrators. Teachers have gone through a lot, and we get beat up and abused all the time. And so when I knew I wanted to quit teaching, I really had to put on my big girl pants and say, you're going to take whatever skill, resource, talent, hobby that you have, and you're going to turn it into money for yourself. But you're going to be happy. I loved teaching. I don't really have a lot of bad things to say about my students, or the job. It was, when I look back, some days I really miss walking in that classroom and writing on the board and creating all the activities. And it gives me a very nostalgic feeling of happiness when I think about teaching, as opposed to when I first quit and I was like, I'm done with y'all. Now I look at my career with very fond memories, and I'm not even saying that I would never do it again because I don't know what God has for me. But what I will say is entrepreneurship really is for me. And but that may not be your path. So I want to give you some other options and some things to think about if you're going to quit your job. So let's get right into it. The first thing you need to think about is your immediate situation when you're quitting teaching, as I stated before. There are immediate options that you can explore. So you can explore the online teaching route where you could be teaching English, like to adults that are from Asian countries. You can teach students English, and there are a lot of online teaching opportunities. I will leave a link to that video at the top here somewhere, and I will also link it below in the description box. I did a whole video about how to make money online as an English teacher, and I did that for a very short time, like a flash, just to see if it was something I would want to do. I was just still trying to hold on to what it meant to be a teacher, but what I realized is I will always be a teacher. Like, just because I don't walk into a classroom every morning with my coffee and start fussing at my kids and tell them, give me a minute, y'all, just give me a minute to breathe before you ask me to go to the bathroom. I'm still a teacher. I'm still an educator. It's in my blood. It's flowing through me. And I think that's why I did that when I first quit teaching. It was like so scary. It was like, what am I going to do now? It was like, of course, I was a successful blogger at that time. I was making good money, substantial money, more than my check most months. And it was, it was a time in my life where the idea of being a full-time blogger was floating out there, but I knew that probably was not going to be my destiny because I don't play by rules. So I just needed some kind of connection to teaching, and I explored that online route, and I will leave that video because I don't need to explore that. But that is an immediate option. It will not pay you as much as teaching. So you're going to have to figure out how to downsize your life. If you're not married and you don't have the support system of a husband, you might want to consider getting a roommate, downsizing, get rid of stuff, have a sale, start saving money. Start saving money, start getting yourself in a financial place so that you're not on the street homeless. Move back in with your parents. A lot of people are ashamed to move back in with their parents, but the truth of the matter is, if you're a single woman or a single man up to a certain point, I think for men, it can feel sort of not masculine to have your own at a certain point, but definitely for the ladies, go back home. If you're 25, if you're 26, 27, 28, go back home. Stop trying to have a place of your own. Go back home, refocus your life, get your life together, and don't be ashamed to do it. There is no shame with having the blessing of parents that you can mooch off of. That is a gift from God himself. And so if you're in your 20s watching me right now and you're trying to have this car and you're trying to do this and you're trying to travel, and listen, I'm in my 30s now and I'm just really starting to travel the world. Sometimes things don't happen for you when exactly you want them to. And although Instagram shows you a very flashy lifestyle and everybody has money and everybody's doing this, that's not really realistic for someone in their 20s. In your 20s, you're growing, you're elevating. I know I got married young in my 20s. Me and my husband, we had to figure out how to learn how to build together. And so the 20s is really a time to explore and make mistakes. Not mistakes that will change the course of your life forever, but make a few mistakes. You have to. You have to. And so there is no shame in going back home and regrouping. Even if you're 30 years old, if you're a single woman, go back home, regroup, So that's my first tip of advice. If you don't know where to turn at all and you're trying to maybe just get a part-time job or do something while you're trying to regroup and you just can't teach anymore because you have had it, you are fed up. Sometimes you have to downsize your life, reshift your focus, and do that. All right, now I'm going to give you some practical things to think about as you evolve and as you get ready to decide, okay, well, I'm not a teacher anymore, so now what am I going to do? All right, the first thing I want you to think about is, as I look at my notes, what are your special skills? What are your special skills? Everyone has either a talent, a skill or an educational background, certifications that you can use to make money. For example, I'm an English teacher, right? You have to pass a test to become an English teacher. I essentially could do a seminar or a course on how to pass the praxis. I wouldn't do that because I have to take mine more than once. My husband went to take his certification test, aced it on the first round. But you know, my life has always really been hard. You know, it's never been easy. There was no goal that I went for that it was just easy. It just fell in my lap. Like, my life has never been like that. Everything that I have, everything that I've earned, everything that I've created, I had to work for, and I thank God for that because I appreciate everything I have, and I love my life because I worked for it. And you have to think about, what am I good at? What skills do I have? Have you been through a certain circumstance where you can create a business around that? You know, there are ladies who are widows who've created businesses around helping other widows get through that process. There are people who have businesses, like I said, that help you pass a test, a certain certification. There are people who start their own online tutoring services, or maybe you know how to play an instrument. I mean, I can go on and on and on. I'm not going to really waste time doing, giving you the long list, but you have to think about, what are my special talents? What do you feel that you do best? You need to just sit down, write a list of all your special talents, your gifts, your skills, because these are different things. A talent and a skill is different things. Talent is kind of God-given. You don't give it to yourself. It's the thing that like helps you do something well, and you don't even know why you do it well, like singing. Okay. A skill is something that can be learned. You could go to school to take up a skill. So look at your local community college. If you already have a skill, if you like to bake cakes and you're good at that, most community colleges have courses and they have classes where you can go learn how to develop your skill in that particular area. Okay. All right, so think about your special hobbies, your talents, your certifications. What can you do to venture off either into another job or create your own business with your skill and with your talent? Second thing I want you to do is I want you to survey your friends and your family and think about, what do they ask you for advice? Like, what do they come to you for advice for? What do they ask you to do for them? And just ask them, what do you think I do well? What do you think my special talents and gifts and skills are? Just ask them that. And take it with a grain of salt, but you just want to start talking to people and start figuring out, who you are and how people perceive you and how you could use that to your advantage as you leave a teaching job and try to venture off into this cold world where you have to figure out how to make money. All right, the third thing I want you to do is I want you to think about your transferable skills. As a teacher, you guys know we could be astronauts. A good teacher has to know how to do a multitude of things at the same time, because we are the authority in that classroom, whether the kids listen to us or not. We are responsible for all those children, and we have to not only make sure that Johnny doesn't jump out the window or fight Susie. We have to make sure that they are learning. We have to make sure we're documenting the learning process. We have to make sure that we're keeping up with the grades. We have to like do the discipline, do our duties. We're always like multitasking. And so pull out those things that you really did well as a teacher and figure out to yourself, okay, how can I transfer these skills into another job? And I would also recommend redoing your resume in a way where it's really showcasing how you were a shining star in your school, because maybe you ran a certain committee on a certain area, or maybe you were in charge of staff development or professional development, and so you have a training component that you can kind of showcase for another job opportunity. So really think about what your transferable skills are, and if you would want like a seminar or a class on that, y'all let me know, because I think that is one thing that has helped me and continues to help me. I know what my transferable skills are. What else? The last thing I want to talk about is exploring business options. Now, you guys know I have an online business. It's Blog with Kim. My website is blogwithkim.com. I have an Instagram, Blog with Kim, and I also have a private mastermind group for bloggers who are using their platforms to build a business, and I teach skills and principles of how to build your online business online. In particular, for people who want to learn how to use a certain skill set, or who are influencers, also known as bloggers. And these people, these women, my friends, they are all trying to figure out how to use their skill set, their God-given gifts and talents to make money. So if you want to be a part of a group, a mastermind, a group of women, let me know. I'm gonna put my email in the description as well. Sign up for the Blog with Kim email list so that the next time we open up our doors are closed right now, but the next time we open up our doors, you can be a part of this group if you want to, okay? It's a great place to start because it's really for beginners and intermediate people, like people who just don't know. But anybody can start a YouTube channel. If you have any skill or talent, anybody can start a YouTube channel. Anybody can start a blog or website. Anybody can open up an account on Instagram. Anybody can learn how to sell on eBay and Etsy and Shopify. There are all types of videos and courses that people have out there that teach you how to start an online business, whether it be drop shipping or whether it be an online boutique. There are so many options out there to help you create your own business. So listen, find a mentor. Even if you can't find a mentor in real life, start listening to podcasts, start reading blogs, start reading books, start figuring out how you can take your skills possibly and maybe create a side hustle for yourself. Because maybe online entrepreneurship is not going to be for you. Maybe it will be. You won't know at the beginning. You really have to get in there and figure out what you're going to do after you quit a job. And so one option could be online entrepreneurship. Go to blogwithkim.com. We have classes, we have courses, and we have resources, and we have lots of articles. I've been able to build my Instagram to over 100,000 followers. I mean, that's crazy that I've been able to do that, all organically, all with my own content, my own voice, and there is a space for everyone online. There's no reason why you can't create a business. There's no reason. There's no reason why at all that you can't create a business in some area. Everybody's not going to be a blogger. Everybody's not going to want to put themselves on YouTube. Everybody's not going to want to create ebooks or workbooks or digital products like I do. But you could do drop shipping. You could learn how to buy products from vendors and sell them online. You can make t-shirts. There are plenty of things that people do. I mean, I have friends that do all kinds of things. And so you're going to have to dig deep and actually start learning and researching. And so that's it, you guys. Those are my tips on how to quit teaching. Now, if I missed something or if you have specific questions about my journey, leave them in the comment section below. Let me know your story. If you quit teaching, let me know what you're doing right now. If you have advice for someone who wants to quit teaching, who's had it, who's had enough, they cannot do it anymore, give them advice below in the comment section. And I think I will come back and let you know what my breaking point was with teaching and really like why I had to quit teaching. I was at a point where I just had to. I had to walk away, and it was painful and it was tough and it was a hard decision, and it was such a hard decision to walk away, but it was so liberating and it was so freeing, and it was the best decision I ever made. And I'm able to help others, and it's life-changing and it's fulfilling, and I can't wait to see where I go from here. So I was in your same shoes, darling. I was there. I was confused. I was like, what am I gonna do? I don't know. Does this make enough money? It was a journey. And so yeah, just leave me your thoughts, your questions, and I will see you in my next video, guys. Bye.